Hey Washington Fish Questers, as you may have heard, the governor did a proclamation about a green crab emergency, European green crab emergency. This video was filmed 3 days before that. After the video, I'll come back and talk to you a little more about that proclamation and some extras with Pablo D, aka David, aka the Northwest Adventurer. But for now, it's time for Washington Shellfish Quest. This episode, European green crab. Hey Washington Fish Questers, Blake here, but I'm not alone. I got the B-boy master, Pablo D himself.
Hoo-ah! What's happening, folks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also known as the Northwest Adventurer. Now he runs his own channel that I really enjoy. For just about a couple of years now, he's been cranking out a bunch of, I'd call it an eclectic mix of, between fishing, crabbing, car maintenance, some hunting stuff in there, gun stuff.
Yep.
Let's see, what else? Oh, and hey, the big thing I was going to say, I was thinking of this on the drive down. Only channel I know that has a bunch of coastal crab tutorials, as well as a tutorial on how to do an excellent windmill.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I love that windmill tutorial. Yeah.
So if any of you kids want to learn how to dance, check out some of my videos and contact me. Hit me up. We teach dance in the city of Everett at the Dorothy Jane Studio. So when I'm not teaching dance, I'm out here in Westport and Tokeland and watching a lot of the Washington Fish Quest videos, which has inspired me big time through the years. And he also introduced me through his videos to this ling cod and chips at Marino's.
Hey, all right.
So shout out to Blake.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got this indoor dining now here. We're on a balcony, but at the Marinos. So at any rate, we're going to decide whether we're going to go drop some pots either in Tokeland or out of Westport Float 20. We will let you know when we get there, and we'll talk a little more as we go.
That's right. Crab on, y'all.
Well, David and I decided to head on down to Tokeland. I rarely get down to Tokeland, and he crabs here often, so I figured it'd be a great excuse to get down to Tokeland. Yeah.
Right. And rumor has it, we're going to score some crabs.
Yeah, hey, I'd take it what I can get, and I got a pot and a snare, so a little pot versus snare challenge. What are you throwing, David? Pots or snares?
I'll do one pot and one crab snare.
Ooh, all right.
Yep, I haven't snared in a while, so it's time to see if I can pull something out of Willapa Bay.
Very good. I think we'll be here for 3 hours, so then we're going to go hit the clam tide before we leave.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Well, fortune smiles upon me. The corner that I was going to cast the snare off of, but some fellers they just up and left, so that was good for me. Hopefully they got some crab before they left. As I mentioned in the razor clam tutorial I did last week, I saved the guts for bait, and that's what I'll be putting in the snares. All right, this is a Shingo design snare. He sort of updated the design, a little sleeker there, a little more aerodynamic on the bottom. Time to cast. I got to be a little cautious because boats do come right around this corner there, pretty sharp, so want to make sure my line obviously isn't near their prop. So I am amazed how much the bay is getting pushed right now with the current. So I got 5 pounds of weight in my pot. We will see how it sits even with that 5 pounds of weight. And I don't know about the snares. Got some crab remnants on the dock here. I'm no crab expert, but looks like this could be the invasive, a much feared European green crab. I'll take some shots here. Let me know what you think. Pincher's unfamiliar to me and does have a green tinge. Then here's this little leg cluster, same thing. Unfamiliar to me, but does have a little green tinge. So David uses nothing but lead line, I think. I use lead, but I also sometimes just put a line weight if I'm using floating line like I am today. So be sure you do that, because even if you're off a dock, you shouldn't have your line floating on the surface. In here, boats come like right across the side of the dock, commercial vessels doing their job. So definitely want to keep that line under the water, well under the water, straight down under the water. Well, I ended up talking to a real nice fellow for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to see what's happening with the snare. But like I said, I think I'm going to move it to calmer waters because it is just ripping so bad. right, we've been here a couple hours, and shoot, you know, I pulled up my crab snare because it was getting fouled up. The conditions are totally better now. The current's not ripping out. It's actually quite calm. However, David and I have both had a couple of guys come chat us up for a couple hours, so we kind of lost track of the mission. I went on a fun side mission where a guy took me to his property and shot a nice eagle on a pier there. Filmed it, I mean, not like shot it, you know. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, though. I kind of felt like I was in a video game, and, you know, someone was like, hey, you want to go on the side mission? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. At any rate, though, I have not pulled my pot. It's probably been down for 2 hours. I put it down when it was super, you know, the current was really pulling, so I'm not sure how it's going to be.
First, I'd like to learn how to fly a cheaper one before I spend a bunch of money. Good idea. All right, first pull of the day.
Well, that stinks. Yeah, pretty sure this is an Eastern European green crab. Now, I think, in my opinion, unfortunately, but I can see the logic. I'm not supposed to, like, kill this because they don't want people mistaking the identity, I'm assuming, and killing native species. But I will take some pictures, and we'll send it in, you know, to Fish and Wildlife. And who was that, Sea Grant?
It's called Sea Grant, and they have what they call the crab team.
Yeah, I'm quite sure this is an European green. Here, I'll show it to you now. All right. Now, there it is. So see, it's 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 on each side of the eye stalk there, the 5 ridges. So I'm pretty sure we got an Eastern European green here. Or a European green, I mean. I don't know what part of Europe they're from. But yeah, it's too bad. And like I said, although I'm pretty positive on that idea, I legally am not supposed to do it in. I'm just supposed to inform the proper authorities.
Probably about 20 minutes after yours, maybe. And wow.
Uh-oh. Looks like it's an invasion of the European greens.
Wow, they've taken over Tokeland. Not cool.
Yeah, not cool at all.
In all last year I was here, spent so much time, never ever caught one of these.
So, all right, this was not the intent of this episode, but I think I'm just going to make it the shellfish quest for the invasive European green crab. David knows quite a bit more than I do about him, so you want to just tell the folks what you know about him here?
Yeah, so most recently, just like everybody else, there was breaking news in Washington State, up near the Lummi Nation, that the green crabs have taken over. And so I wanted to find out about them because I actually pulled a few up last weekend when I was here. So what I found out is they've been in this area since 1998, and they're voracious eaters, if that's a great word. So basically, they're found in Willapa Bay, which is one of the one of the richest estuaries in the nation. And so we have a large amount of clams. But the problem with the green crab is they eat up to 40 half-inch clams a day. So think about that, folks. If you go to a clam chowder shop, you are not going to have 40 clams in your large cup. You're going to have maybe 6 pieces. So just imagine what that little teeny 3 to 4 inch crab is doing to our shellfish on these beaches. And so one good way to identify them, because there's 2 other crabs in the state of Washington that look similar to the green crab, but what you got to do is you look at the shell, and on the left side of it, it's going to have 5 little knobs, some bumps, and then on the other side there's going to be another 5, but in the middle there's going to be 3 little bumps where the eyeballs are. And so if you see those with a total of 13 bumps, then it is an invasive European green crab. And so according to the Sea Grant team, they want you to leave them there and then report them. So don't bring them home, cook them up, add them to your stew, not until they give us the word. And that would probably be in the next few years, because I have a feeling these things aren't going anywhere. They're spreading quickly. So fishermen, do your thing, learn how to identify these and how to deal with them according to whatever regulations you read. So with that being said, pay attention, folks, to what you're pulling out, and happy crabbing.
All right, last pull. Probably academic at this point.
Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, hey, for today, that's pretty good.
This is the largest catch of the day.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
At least it's the perfect speed. Oh, hey, I know something I want.
What's that?
Oh, man. Can you tell me what type of crab those are?
That's right. These are crabs. Dungeness crabs, that is.
Yeah.
Here's a female. And if you in the audience can't tell the difference between a female, see how wide that is? And let me see. We'll see if this is a male or not. And okay, Mr. Crabbo.
Not Miss Crabbo.
Miss Crabbo. So we've got 2 females. And you got them quick. All right. So we've done all we can. I used the frozen chicken breast, and she attracted nothing but the little ones. So until next time, signing out for now. It's the Northwest Adventure
And Washington Fish Quest.
That's right. Come on now.
Well, we got our butts kicked out there at Tokeland today. Hopefully getting a quick limit here of razor clams, 15 each, will help soothe the pain. One thing's for sure, can't beat that sunset. Holy smokes. Well, it did make me feel a little better, and what made it even funner was David let me use this sweet customized clam shovel. Take a look at this long clam shovel. Check this out. Check out this inscription. Yeah. Well, there you go. The invasive European crabs are on the march. You know, if we're not careful here, we'll all be speaking European soon, as opposed to American. I joke. But at any rate, had a great time with David, and go check out his channel. Whoops, he's in the dark there. But go check out the channel, Northwest Adventurer. Great channel. One thing I forgot to mention is I just love his voice and just like how he narrates, you know. It's just a really nice, like I'd call it like an easy, enjoyable listen, you know. It's just a pleasure. So at any rate, yeah, go check him out. Go sub to him and all that stuff. And I'll see you next time here on Washington Shellfish Quest. I said I'd be back to talk about the governor's declaration of emergency of the European green crab infestation, and here I am. So I read the whole, declaration. Not really anything specific in there, as you might imagine. It basically directs the different natural resource agencies to get on it. So hopefully they will throw everything they have at it. I commented back to Fish and Wildlife on social media just about, because they said they were going to do, they're going to pursue an outreach campaign, which would be great. I'm really hopeful they can maybe put up some kind of like signs at docks and that sort of thing, just to make sure people can identify them. Because those ones that we do get in our pod, although those are the exceptionally big ones, I'm sure those are also the breeders, so those are the ones you really want to get out of the system, I'm sure. So hopefully, by this time next year, that will have changed where the Rex can help destroy them. Currently, though, we're still not allowed to, by law, to destroy the European green crabs because of some cases of mistaken identity, apparently. So there you go. And before I let you go, I have a little extra interview here with David, and really is Pablo D. I asked him about, kind of his b-boy roots, breakdancing and that sort of thing, in the 1980s. You also learn a little about me and my love of hip-hop in there. So if you want to listen, if that's something that's floats your boat, give it a listen here. If not, don't. Oh, and by the reason I put it here at the end was there were some people rearranging a bunch of big metal tables behind us, so the audio is pretty bad. So you're going to have to really earn it if you want to listen all the way through. But it was great talking to David about that. Thanks so much. And, if you don't watch this up here, see you next time on Washington Fish Quest. So you might not know this about me from just watching my channel, but my favorite genre of music is old school hip hop, or currently underground hip hop. In 2018, as an adult, this is the biggest solo trip I've ever taken. I'm not well traveled at all, but I went to Atlantic City, because I wanted to see Houdini, Cool Modi, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane live. Naughty by Nature is actually the headliner, but trip of a lifetime. So glad I did it. And you know, Houdini's my favorite group of all time, and unfortunately, Ecstasy, one of the you know, surviving members, passed away a couple of years ago. So shout out to Jalil, I guess. But at any rate, so I'm a big fan of 80s hip hop, but you know, you've actually you lived it. You know, you want to talk about that a bit? I know I'd love it.
Sure. All right. So I started b-boying in 1980 in Seattle. In 1979, my parents and I took a trip across the country to New York City. One of my uncles was having appendicitis. And so while we were visiting relatives, I saw a group of kids on the street, which my mom at that time in 79 said we're doing the jitterbug. So she didn't want us to stick around. So we kind of watched it for a quick second and then split. And then I came home. The next year, I turned on the TV and saw some break-in from New York. So at that point, I was sold. I started top rocking, and then by the year of probably 1982, 83, I co-produced the first breakdance crew in Snohomish County called Twilight Patrol. And so from there, we battled all sorts of crews in Seattle, Canada, Oregon, you name it. And then eventually, myself and Kid Fresh from Twilight Patrol jumped on a bus and went all the way from Seattle to Miami, Florida, dancing and earning money along the way from anyone and anywhere where we could dance. And so eventually I danced at kind of a high level until the early 90s, and then I retired for 13 years. And then in about 2008, 2009, I made a comeback as a B-man instead of a B-boy, because I was now in my late 30s, and then I co-created the crew North City Rockers. And today we are still active, and I've got dancers from the age of 4 to the age of 52 years old. And so we just keep doing it in the greater Seattle area.
Oh, that's awesome.